Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. So I'm actually recording this intro after I've already recorded the rest of the episode. I started editing and then I realised that I just never did an intro. So what I was going to do for the intro is over here. So in the last episode I built a bamboo farm. Well, I think it was the last episode. I'm kind of recording a few episodes at once here, so I'm kind of forgetting what I'm doing. But yeah, in the last episode I think it was, I built the bamboo farm and got all the bamboo items checked off the checklist. And I said I would go ahead and get all of the cherry blocks as well. So that's what I did. I got all of the cherry blocks and then the leaves and the saplings. And then I also went ahead and got all of these hanging signs. And these are actually kind of expensive. You need to use these stripped logs for each of these signs. So yeah, it takes quite a lot of wood just to make some of these. But that is everything in this chest fully complete. So I went ahead and I turned the lamps on. And I have been trying to add at least one new item to the checklist in every episode. But because I recorded this out of order and didn't do the intro first, I forgot that I added the cherry wood. So later on in the episode, I do actually add another item to the checklist. It's not really a big deal, it's just some of the stuff I say later on doesn't really make too much sense. And you might have realised that I'm level 3000 now. So of course that's a lot of XP you need to get to level 3000 in survival. But if you're new around here or whatever, I do have a challenge on this world to get to 10,000 levels set by one of my followers. So I didn't quite understand how hard this was going to be at the time it got set. But I have just recently hit level 3000, so I'll show a quick clip of me getting to that point. And for people who are not too sure how XP works in this game, every time you gain a level you need more XP to get to the next level. So 3000 levels is a lot of levels, but it's nowhere near 10,000. Okay, moving on to the project that I want to do in today's episode. I know this has already been spoiled by the thumbnail and the title, but I want to do some map art. So I'm over here at my map art area. And you've already seen me build this one here, so this is one of my skins. Well, my skin is animated, so it's just one of the faces that it goes through here, the one with the blue eyes. And I don't think you've seen this one over here, so this is my sister's skin. We were just bored a few months ago and we started working on this. It took us like a full day to do. So she joined my world and just helped me out with this a little bit. And this is what they look like here. So I do like how these look, and I do want to get into doing more complex map art, and that's actually what I'm going to be doing right now. So these are pretty simple to do. It's just like a big 16 by 16 area, you fill it with the blocks and you go and do the next one. But I want to do some more complex patterns and designs. So over here I've already dug out the area that I'm going to need. This is a 128 by 128 area. And this is what it looks like currently. And I've actually got a bunch of the materials that I'm going to use here. I don't know if this is everything or if I've forgot some stuff. But I'm going to need a whole lot of blue wool, some prismarine. I just decided to go for the slabs. It's actually cheaper to use the slabs than just the normal blocks. Some more wool over here, plenty of white wool, and then just a few other random blocks as well. So I'm just going to start building this, and I'd be interested to see how long it takes everyone to guess what it's going to be. So yeah, let's just get straight into a time lapse. I wasn't sure how that time lapse was going to look, but I've just edited it and watched it back, and it looks a lot better than I was actually expecting. So I think from now on, every time I do a map art project, I'm going to record a time lapse like that, where I'm looking at the map and you can see it getting built on the map. But yeah, this is the one that I decided to do. I'm still keeping it kind of simple. I don't want to get too complex with them right now. I'm still kind of learning this. But it is a giant whale. I don't know how long it took people to guess this, but I just think it looks kind of cool. And for anyone wondering why I'm doing some map art, there's not really any real reason for it, I just think it's going to be a fun project to do. But I am planning to work on the village around the base soon, And I think having a bunch of map art like this to put in some item frames on the walls in some of the houses is going to be some good decoration to have around. And this is how it looks in an item frame. So I definitely think it looks better once you place it in an item frame and then take a few steps back. If you get too close to it and look at it like this, you can see a few like imperfections in it. But if you place it like this and take a few steps back, it looks much better overall, or at least I think it does. But anyway, I want to move straight on to building the next one. So I need to clear out some more space, probably over on this side somewhere. I want to try and do 5 of these in today's episode, so this is the first one, and I've got 4 more to go. Okay, I've cleared out all of the space that I'm going to need to make 2 more of these maps. It didn't actually take that long, but I've run into a little bit of a problem. So one of the map art things that I want to do is going to have a lot of red. And the plan was to use red wool or red concrete. Both of these are easy to get. I was probably going to use the red wool. But if I actually place it down here and then look at it on the map. So if you look towards the bottom right of the map there, you can see the red dot. And it's actually a darker shade of red than what I actually want. And then if I put the red concrete down, it's the same shade of red. So I can't actually use these. I really thought I could just use the red wool. But yeah, I can't use it. It's a little bit too dark. So there is actually 2 blocks that I can use. So the first one is the redstone blocks. So if I look on the map here, you can see that's a much brighter shade of red. And then if I put the TNT over on this side, you can see that's also a much brighter shade of red. So these are the 2 options I've got. I can either use the redstone or the TNT. And it would actually be a lot easier to get all of this TNT. I've got plenty of gunpowder, plenty of sand on this world. But I don't really want to risk using this and then the place gets struck by lightning and it just destroys everything around here. Because I am going to need a lot of this stuff. So the only other option is the redstone blocks. Over at the base I do have a decent amount of redstone and redstone blocks. So I think this is like 6 and a bit stacks of redstone blocks. I've got a full shulker box here of deep slate redstone ore and then the regular redstone ore. So this is plenty of redstone, but it's nowhere near enough for the project that I'm going to be doing here. So I think I need about 6 shulker boxes full of redstone blocks. So this is going to be nowhere near enough for what I actually need. I do actually have a way to get a lot of redstone blocks without having to go mining. So this is my witch farm. It's a work in progress still. There's still a lot of work I need to do around here. And it's not the most efficient at the moment because I want to set up a trident killer at the bottom of this. At the moment they're just taking fall damage and dying that way. So if I set up a trident killer I can get much better rates from this farm. But at the moment I've actually got quite a lot of redstone from this. So this is a full shulker box of redstone blocks and then like another 6 or 7 stacks in here as well. So overall that's probably like 1.5 shulker boxes of redstone blocks when I need 6. So there's still a long way to go. But I think I'm just going to put this project off for a little bit. I'm going to stay AFK here quite a lot over the next few weeks. And once I've got enough redstone blocks, we'll get back to the map art. Okay, I've had a change of plan, which is pretty common in my videos these days. I stayed AFK at the witch farm overnight and I didn't get anywhere near as much redstone as I thought I would. So it's going to take me way too long to get all of this redstone until I finish this farm. So instead, I'm just going to use TNT for the project. So I collected up all of the gunpowder that I had over at my mob farm. And then I spent some time collecting some sand. I know it's more common these days for people to use sand hoopers, but I don't really agree with that way of playing the game. I think there's way more than enough sand on a world that you don't need to dupe any of it. I've been clearing out of this same desert since I started this world, and there's still plenty of sand here for me to use. And this is what all of the gunpowder and sand looks like when it's in shulker boxes. So this is 30 shulker boxes full of gunpowder. This is basically every single little bit of gunpowder that I've got on the world. Luckily I have stayed AFK at the mob farm a few times recently, so I stocked up on a little bit of this. So yeah, this is basically all of my gunpowder. And then 24 shulker boxes of sand over here. I did already have a few shulker boxes of sand, but I had to collect, I think like 16 more. So it did actually take a few hours to do that, even though it was only a quick time lapse there. But anyway, now it's time to craft all of this into TNT. So all of this is going to turn into 6 shulker boxes of TNT. And even this is probably going to take me quite a while to get through all of this crafting. It only took about 20 minutes or so, and here is the 6 shulker boxes of TNT. And even though it didn't take that long, it's going to be nice to have the auto crafters in the game soon. So I'm going to be able to automate all of these bulk crafting projects. But anyway, I'm back over here where I'm going to do this map art project. And a few of you might be thinking that it's a huge waste to use all of this TNT in this map art thing here. But the thing is, you can actually lock the map once it's complete, and then you can remove the TNT and use it for other projects. So I'm just going to get straight to work on this first map here, and then I'm going to explain what I'm going to do with the TNT afterwards. I'm sure everyone guessed what this one was pretty quickly. So obviously this is the YouTube logo, and this is what it looks like on the map. And you're probably wondering why I built the YouTube logo. I do actually have a plan for this, but I'm going to explain it a little bit later once I've done the map art over there, because these two are kind of going to go together for a project I've got planned in the future. But before I do that, I actually want to remove all of this TNT and replace it with some black wool. So this is all of the TNT that I've got left over from 6 shulker boxes full. And then I've got 6 shulker boxes of black wool to replace it with. So obviously the TNT is going to be quite useful for other projects. And I think the black wool will actually look quite nice as well. And of course I've got a version of this map which is locked. So even when I make the changes, I'm still going to have this one here which is locked in red. So this one will never change. But before I actually change this, I just want to quickly mention that I had the idea to put some lightning rods around. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but I've put a few lightning rods around on some of the areas which are not flammable. So if I do get any thunderstorms over here while I'm working in the area, hopefully it should stop any of the projects setting fire. I did actually have a thunderstorm while I was working on this, placing all of this TNT, and I saw lightning hit this one a few times. So maybe if that wasn't there, it would have set a big explosion over here. So it was quite a good idea to put that there just before putting the TNT down. But anyway, like I said, I'm just going to quickly replace all of this TNT with some black wool. Okay, here is the finished thing. I think I might actually prefer the black one to the red one. So I don't know which one I'm going to use when I finally decide to get to the project that I need them for. But before I explain what that project is, I do want to do the other one. But I just quickly wanted to show all of the TNT that I got back. So I kind of expected to lose some of this, but I managed to get pretty much all of it. Apart from 3 TNT at the end, I lost 3. So that's not too bad. I definitely thought I'd lose more than that while I was removing it all. And luckily TNT is pretty easy to break, so it didn't actually take too long to remove it all. And I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I'm going to be using all of this TNT for my netherite beacon. I probably won't actually need all of it. I've made a decent amount of progress on that project, but I do still need a lot of ancient debris, so this is going to be pretty useful. TNT is my preferred method. Some people like beds, but I think TNT is way better. But anyway, moving on to the next map art project that I want to do. I think I might actually do 2 more in today's episode, but the first one I'm going to do is kind of related to the YouTube logo that I've got here. So let me just build it up. I'm sure most of you will guess what it is pretty quickly, and then once I've built it, I'll explain what my plans are. sure most of you recognise this one as well. It was actually a lot harder to do this one because there's so many different blocks used around the outside of the actual logo itself. So I had to keep switching between all of these different blocks. It took quite a while to do, but here is the finished thing. And I think I'm going to make a few changes before I lock the map. Like the netherrack on the map is a little bit too dark. The website that I use to tell me where to place all of the blocks is designed for Java Edition. So on Bedrock Edition, some of the blocks are a little bit different on the map, so that's where the mistakes happen. So I'm just going to have to go around this at some point and change a few of the blocks before I end up locking the map. But I want to quickly explain what my idea is with these maps. So somewhere in the base, I want to build something similar to this. Obviously, it will be in a room and I'll decorate it and stuff. But I'm going to have the YouTube logo and the TikTok logo and then some lamps like this. And then on all of these lamps, I'm going to have a number. So this is going to count how many subscribers I've got. So like the first one might be 1,000, then 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. So it'll just go up to probably 100,000 is probably going to be the maximum. And then each time I hit that number of subscribers on YouTube or followers on TikTok, I will come back and I'll turn the lamp on. And it does actually turn 2 on, so I'd need to leave a gap and then do the next number here and then leave a gap like that. So it's just a fun way to keep track of how many subscribers I'm on and how close I am to reaching the final goal, which is probably 100,000. I might have to make it a little bit less than that, I don't really know at the moment. But yeah, this is just a little fun project I've had in mind for a while. And the long part of this was making the maps. Now I've got these, the rest of the project shouldn't take too long. So I might actually get to this pretty soon now. So there's one more map art project I want to do in today's episode. I think this is probably a good place to do it because it's quite flat and I don't have a whole lot more time to record this episode. So I'm just going to clear out a bit of the space that I need to clear out and then we'll get on to the next one. So this final map art that I'm going to do in this episode was not actually my own idea. So I set up a Patreon a while ago and a few people have donated over the last few months. I got a new Patreon a few weeks ago now and we got to talking about our Minecraft projects and what we were working on. So I started talking about the map art projects that I've been doing in this episode here. And basically we came up with the idea that it could be a nice benefit for the Patreons if they get their own custom map art project on my world. So his name is William Millard and this one was his idea. So he suggested that I do a character from South Park. I've not actually watched this for quite a long time now, but originally I was going to do Kenny, but the blocks were a little bit weird and it just didn't look how I wanted it to look. So I decided to do Eric Cartman instead. And here's how it turned out. So these ones are actually very time consuming to do. It does take a long time to do like the simpler ones like the YouTube logo and then the skins over there. But these ones here like the Cartman and the whale where there's just so many different blocks that you've got to place. Like every single block is just like different, so you're constantly switching between one block and another. These ones just take so long to do. But this is how it looks on the actual map itself. There's definitely some imperfections when you look at it like this from so close, but when you put it in an item frame like this and then take a few steps back, you don't really notice them anymore and I think it looks much better. But yeah, this wasn't actually my idea like I mentioned. I got a new Patreon, so thanks to everyone who has like subscribed over there over the past few months. But I got a new Patreon member over there. We got to talking and he suggested that I could do a map art project for some of the patrons, so it's like a certain tier of the membership. But I do suggest if you do subscribe and you want your own map art project, that you suggest one that is going to be kind of easier to do in survival. So like the skins over here are very easy to do, although they do still take a lot of time. And then things like cartoons like the whale, then the Cartman on the end. The YouTube logo, you can see all of these are kind of simple. Also things like a football team badge would be kind of simple to do. But if you suggest to do like a real life person, let's say Rick Grimes comes to mind because I just watched a new Walking Dead spin-off this morning. But when you start doing real life people like that, it's kind of much harder to do because you need to start doing layers and working with shade and stuff like that. So yeah, like cartoons are much easier to do on a flat surface like this. So I just wanted to quickly mention that because I don't want someone to subscribe over on Patreon because they want a map art project, but then they expect me to do a really complicated one that I'm just not capable of doing. But anyway, I do actually have some plans for these map art projects that I'm going to be doing for patrons. So I've got a room in the base, I still need to decorate it, I'm going to try to get to that soon, and I'm going to display all of them over there. But I'm also going to use them as artwork around my world in different buildings and houses and stuff. So I'm going to get plenty of use out of these, and they are going to be quite useful to have. But anyway, that's it for the map art that I'm going to be doing today. I did say I was going to do 5, and I guess I technically did, because I did the red YouTube and then the black YouTube logo. These things do take so long to make, there's just so many blocks you've got to place. But I do look forward to filling this area and doing a few more of them over time. And the final thing that I want to do to end off today's episode is to continue the streak of adding a stack of items to the checklist in each episode. So I'm going to go for the turtle eggs today. I've been breeding them up and then collecting some of the eggs. I've got 62 here, so I need 2 more. And I think I'm just going to get 2 from here. One of them went into the water, so we'll just get this one. So that's 64 turtle eggs, and I can head back to the base. I actually only needed 63 of these because I've already got 1 in the chest. But that's a full stack of the turtle eggs, and that's another item completed towards the checklist. So that's the end of today's episode, but before I go, I just want to quickly mention that I'm going to be moving house. So by the time that you're watching this episode, I'm going to be already in the process of moving house. And of course, it's a long process moving all of my stuff over, decorating, and then setting up the Wi-Fi and stuff. So it could be a while before the next Let's Play episode. I've actually already started recording the next episode where I'm doing some more work on the base up there in the village. So I'm not going to go up there and spoil that. But that video is not going to be ready in time, so it's probably going to be a while before you see that. And I do actually have a 100 days video that I recorded quite a while ago now. But I finally got round to doing all of the editing. So that's ready to post, so I'm probably going to post that in a couple of weeks. And I did spend a long time on that one, so I would appreciate it if everyone would go and check it out when it is released. But I did just want to quickly mention that I am going to be moving house, and that's why there's probably not going to be too many videos on this channel in the next few months. But I will try to get back to recording these episodes as soon as possible. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this one, and I will see you all next time.